As Miriam opened her memory to 7 decades earlier, she recalled a different time, a time before mobile phones and the convenience of indoor plumbing. It was a time still very fueled by faith, agriculture, slower living, and both fear and curiosity of the unknown. During that time, Miriam befriended a house slave named Hannah. The combination of her vibrant personality and stunning beauty had everyone she met in the palm of her hands. In fact, there was nothing her striking eyes could not ask for that she did not receive. In that time, it was not commonly acceptable to share a bond, a love, or show special favoritism to a slave, but Hannah was special. She worked in the home of a tall, ruggedly handsome man, simply known as P.O., the plantation owner. She managed all aspects of the interior workings of the P.O.'s home life. On the P.O.'s farm, plantation workers were treated well. This plantation was a utopia and family-oriented environment amidst a cloud of pain and maltreatment common at the neighboring plantations or compared to other farms throughout the South. The P.O.'s plantation was the most prosperous and most powerful among the sea of other farm owners. He further stood out because none of the other farm owners shared his unconventional thoughts toward farming. Though the other farmers could never put their fingers on it, they felt that something strange was occurring on his property. In the years where the local farmers' crops failed, the P.O.'s land did not. In the years of great harvest, his crops were simply better. They were brighter, larger, and tastier. The relationship the P.O. had with the plantation workers was unique and quite the talk of the town when he was not present. There was a great deal of envy and jealousy just below the surface. He had many friends, but few who were true. The P.O. had a beautiful family. He had a loving wife, 2 handsome boys, and 2 beautiful girls. It was rumored Hannah shared his bed, but that was largely small-town gossip and never proven. After 2 years of poor, unspectacular harvest, the animosity was quite dense and the general feeling among the other farmers was depressing. One could liken it to being inside of a soup of humidity while on a gorgeous island vacation, only to find that the beach and powerful blue thrusts of the ocean could only be enjoyed through a beautiful picture window, except during the wee hours of the morning or late evening when the heavy, wet air chose to rest their tired arms from a long day of sweeping and spreading misery. The farmers' envy and pride led them to plot the takeover of the P.O.'s land. They agreed to divide it among the 4 of their farming families equally. They would each take slaves, land, and equipment. As they marched to the farm, they were met by 2 sun-kissed, oak-colored men, slaves who worked the farm's land. Unfamiliar with the maltreatment at the neighboring plantation, these men welcomed the tan, pine-shaded men onto the land and guided them toward the house. A small black girl with stunning eyes whisked herself ahead of the crowd and found Hannah. She gave her hand to Hannah and relayed to her that there were visitors. I don't think they're friendly. Without pondering for long on what should be done or prepared, Hannah asked the girl to hide as she dressed herself to fetch the P.O. Once at the P.O.'s room and at his side, Hannah chose not to wake him and instead whispered a phrase into his ear: "Sleep now. All is well." The P.O., his wife, and children continued to sleep deeply. As Hannah exited the house, she placed the P.O.'s hat on her head and walked downstairs toward the door. She exhaled deeply, then exited the house and addressed her guests. Good evening, fine gentlemen. You are up really late. How is it that I can help you all this fine full moon night? Mr. Hare, the orchestrator of it all, began to speak. Kind sir, for the past 2 years you have lived prosperously while we have barely survived and eked out a living for ourselves. We till our ground, we sow our seed, we harvest our crops as our fathers before us, yet we fail to yield a crop fitting the effort we expend. Your farm is different. We suspect something unusual with this land. We suspect that you have an unfair advantage that is best equally shared so we can all live more comfortably. We have come to take your land, your crops, your slaves, and equipment and divide it 4 ways. I see. I understand your frustration. I must admit that it is very strange. The secret to my harvest is, in fact, no secret. We work the fields every day. We pray every day. And we give thanks every day. This is no special land. There's no such thing. My family, my 2 boys, and my 2 girls and my wife, and the men and women here work tirelessly to care for and feed each other. There was a brief pause and then he resumed. As far as taking my land, I own no land alone. This land belongs to all I have just spoken of. The decision to relinquish it does not solely reside with me. Under whose authority or which law do you apply this judgment? I'm a fair and law-abiding man. Please show me the writ that divides my family's land and leaves us with nothing. There is no document. Something haunts and cursed our land, and we want to prosper. We're not asking. My neighbors, is this how we should behave? You righteous men have approached me in the night with an unreasonable offer. How do you expect I respond? I see weapons. I have none. Just say that I give you this land and I only took enough crops to start over. Would you then leave my family be and leave me a portion of land for us to take care of ourselves? This sounds reasonable. You must leave tonight, but half the slaves must stay behind. Dear friend, perhaps I was not clear. I wish to take my entire family with me. I have no slaves, only family. They will come with me. Mr. Clark, a second farm owner and equal complainant, spoke up. A slave can't be family. Mr. Hare interrupted and continued speaking. Hush. Listen, P.O., we're not here to change your beliefs, rather to have what we see as fair. As I said, our lands are cursed. Your request is unreasonable. Mr. Connor raised his gun and postured himself to use it. Lower your weapon. I've tried to be just. Lower your weapon, Mr. Connor. Mr. Connor removed his finger from his trigger and lowered his weapon, but was not sure why he did so. As he complied, his actions served as a de-escalating symbol among the members of the highly tense mob. Now, it's very late, and I'm sure you all, under the sound of my voice, must be tired. Go home and rest. Sleep on this matter and wake with better thoughts. Leave now. I grow tired and my wife misses my body next to her. Go home and lay with your wives. Leave. Without further belligerent demands or questions, the crowd dispersed and went home. Hannah walked back inside, upstairs, and into the P.O.'s room. My dear P.O., Men came to take your land, but you treated them kindly. You listened and you spoke to them fairly. When they realized they were unreasonable, you asked them to go home and lay next to their wives as you do now. Continue to rest. All is well.